lot to talk about today. And I started thinking this morning, like, what happens when football is over? What are we going to talk about when football is over? Well, here's an inclination for you. Take a look at the screen right now. We got a lot to talk about. Let's run through the hit list. The Steelers, Taylor Swift, NFL rules, gambling, the Kickers, Tennessee, a lot of violations, NHL, and the Orioles being sold for a lot of money. Let's dive in right now. Let's talk about it because the Pittsburgh Steelers have just hired the offensive coordinator, Arthur, from the Falcons. Now, is this a good move? I mean, listen, the Falcons were not good. The Falcons were not good. So it's like, okay, let's develop this year. Let's build this year. Let's get an offensive coordinator for Tomlin to work with. But here's the question. How are you going to move forward and win games unless you hire someone who's actually winning? And I'm not knocking the guy, but the Falcons were terrible. Let's just face it. And the Steelers have a lot of other questions, a lot of other things to fix. Tomlin, yeah, he's a great coach. He's been there for a long time. He was in the hot seat. And then it's like, okay, we're going to keep him, but who's your quarterback? Kenny Pickett. And then it's not Kenny Pickett. Then he's hurt. Do they like Kenny Pickett? Do they love Kenny Pickett? And then it's Trubisky. And then it's Mason Rudolph. And it's like, can you pick a quarterback that you want to play? I get Kenny Pickett was your guy. Is he a long-term solution, though? Is Kenny Pickett a long-term solution? Is he a Ben Roethlisberger where you have for years and years and years, or are you just wasting your time? That's what it comes down to, because the Steelers have brought on an offensive coordinator that was not even winning at all in Atlanta. So if you ask me, what do the Steelers fans have to look forward to this year? What's the breath of fresh air that the Steelers are excited about? What are we going to do? What are we going to do in the offseason? That's what all these teams do. They come back to the new year. We got a coordinator. We have some draft picks. We have some changes on the offense. We have a new quarterback. We're installing new plays. But what they did was they went out and got an offensive coordinator who they love and they think is going to be great. And I'm not saying that he's a bad coach or a bad coordinator, but what do the fans have to look forward to? Who's buying jerseys? Who's spending their money? That's the question right now. What do the Steelers fans have to look forward to? And I got to tell you, I went to Pitt. Kenny Pickett went to Pitt. I like Kenny Pickett. I think he's a great college quarterback. I think that he'll be a decent NFL quarterback unless they start getting a lot more talent around him. And I got to tell you, the Steelers played pretty well without him when Mason Rudolph came in. Obviously beat by the Bills, who were a great football team this season. But what will Tomlin, Kenny Pickett, and the new offensive coordinator be able to do to the offense to make them win football games? They want the terrible towels waving. They want the fans rocking. They want people excited. Well, guess what? I hate to break it to you. You're not going to be that excited. You're not going to be that excited as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan when you show up and there's minute changes made, because after looking at last season, they need a lot of changes to be made. And so if you ask me, watching the Pittsburgh Steelers, and not to end it on a bad note, I like Pitt. I hope the Steelers play well. I love what the fan base does. You know, up in Pittsburgh, it gets cold in the playoffs. It's a tough atmosphere, but you got to make changes. I hate to break it to you. Hey guys, thanks for watching and tuning into the Brandon Mason Show. Please remember to like and subscribe. Until next time.